Tell us about this plot, I guess you could call it that. Who was involved? At whose direction were they working?
One of the key players in the plot is a Saudi official named Badr al-Sakr. And Sakr was the head of a charitable organization in Saudi Arabia that was owned by or started by Mohammed bin Salman, now the crown prince and de facto ruler. MBS, as he's called, was at the time rising in prominence. He wasn't yet crown prince. He was the defense minister and thus in the cabinet. And he was really starting to come up in the Saudi government, Saudi family. And as he was doing so, it became clear, I mean, now we know MBS is someone who is very concerned about keeping a lid on dissent in the kingdom. And there's a lot of concern about the government silencing the voices of critics and dissidents. Most famously, Jamal Khashoggi, a former Washington Post columnist who was brutally killed last year in Istanbul in the consulate.
One of the very interesting parts of this is we focus an awful lot in terms of cybersecurity on outside hackers, people who are breaking in from the outside. But these were employees inside Twitter who were recruited apparently by this Al-Sakr, the head of the charity, to do the bidding of MSK.
Absolutely. In fact, what this case shows is that the threat is not just from without, but also from within. And tech firms like Twitter are rich targets for foreign governments that might want to gain access to the information inside so that they can use it to track people they want, like dissidents or journalists.
There were three individuals, I believe, who were cited yesterday, one of whom has been arrested. The other two are presumably back in Saudi Arabia?
That's right. The one who was arrested, Ahmed Abu Ammo, was in Seattle. He had left Twitter in 2015 and moved to Seattle to work. He was arrested on Tuesday, and he's in custody. He's going to have a detention hearing Friday. The other two, Ali Al-Mutari, Ali Al-Zabara, and Ahmed Al-Zabara, are still in Saudi Arabia. And the other, so Al-Zabara was the other Twitter employee. He left in 2015 as well. Do
we know how many individual files or individuals' data was compromised here? We do know about a Twitter user, an individual who was critical of the regime, has 1 million followers. Do we have any idea who that person is?
So the account there goes under the handle of @Mujtahid, and he has probably over 2 million followers.
Okay.
And is someone who doesn't have his identity is not public, but his account is very public and prominent as someone who likes to reveal the inner workings of the Saudi royal family or alleged corruption, and as such is a real thorn in the side of the royal family. There's another prominent dissident whose account was also targeted. His name is Omar Abdulaziz, and he's living in exile in Canada. And Abdulaziz is someone who was very close to Jamal Khashoggi.
Do we know whether Khashoggi's account was compromised?
We do not know that. We do
whether
not
he even
have
had
evidence.
An account. Let me just finally question here. Was this scheme done? Were these individuals doing what they did out of some sense of patriotic duty to the regime, or were they being paid?
So we have evidence for sure that Abu Ammo, the one who was arrested Tuesday, was paid at least $300,000 by a Sakr, including and given a Hublot luxury watch worth more than $20,000.
All right, Ellen, we have to leave it there. Thank you for your reporting and your time today.
Thank you.